Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is, No Filter. I am Voice of Reason. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate you. We're in this holiday season. We are at the end, nearing the end of the fourth quarter. 2025 is out of here. We are approaching a new year. Sounds dramatic, I know, but I got to mention these things. You get a few more episodes from me before that. I'm just saying, bringing to your attention in case, sometimes we just be day to day going and don't realize how the time is flying, right? So just acknowledge that and always be grateful that you get another day on this earth. Always appreciate the wake up. Always appreciate the health you do have. Always appreciate the valuable ones around you, no matter how small. Less is more is plenty of us. Jay-Z, light it up, Drake. All right, so let's get right to it. I have a requested, I always get sent stuff, but this is my guy, and I'll keep him unanimous. This is his. So I'm going to move this right to the top of the list and go in with this one. I see you, King. At what age do women realize that it's washed up for them thinking things should be done their way? Give or take. That's how he worded it to me. Sad to say, some may never reach an age. The way that they think based on what you got to know this. Listen. And I don't know how long or how much can we use this as an excuse. But the reality is women are emotional creatures. It's known. Judging the percentage of how emotional is based on each woman. But I know that when you have emotions that lead the way or have a strong part in your decision making, your view, just your life period, it's not the best position to be in. Now take this point right here. Because of emotions, whatever they've been through and how they move has that emotion in there. So it's going to be hard for them to separate that. And that takes, that's an exceptional woman, because we're not going to, play light on what they went through. A lot of women could probably tell you some shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't just tell them to shrug it off because women don't have the life men have. If a woman gives you a tragedy story and a man does, they definitely expect a man to get over it eventually or whatever. Like, shake it off. We got to get back out here. But for women, they could be so dramatized that, we still will encourage to get better, to get over it. But it's coming from a more positive standpoint and not such a shot clock time frame. You know what I'm saying? But for men, it's like, get over it, hurry up. Like, all right, that happened. Now what? You know what I mean? Because we have to get out there, provide, whatever. But I'm going a little left. So whatever happens and they can't fully let go, they holding on to that baggage. They holding on to that, toxic event. They still have the scars. They still think about it or whatever. The way that they behave, the way that they act may never change completely as a result of it. Because again, if emotions are being used in it, you stirring that in the pot, it's going to be hard to think outside of that and bring logic back. So, my guy, I can't say that there's an age. And if you're encouraging that there is one, again, this is an exceptional woman who has finally said, I won't let this consume me anymore. Let me ease up because it's getting late. It's getting late. We also have some with delusion. These are some dangerous things to put in the same pot. Delusion, emotion, because now they think there's nothing wrong with this. They don't think time is running out. Whatever they think their capabilities are in their 20s, they carry that to their 30s, 40s, 50s. They just, if they think they lit, they don't ever not really think they don't ever think they're not lit. Outwardly. Inside, deep down by themselves, they may know time is a wasting, time is a going. But nah. So, sorry, my friend. I don't have an age for you here. And I think whoever we're basing this on is going to continue to think things should be done their way. Men are to blame to a high extent because whatever men they've dealt with while thinking this way, tolerated it, enabled it, allowed it. And it's not I don't mean a controlling thing where they, we wanted somebody to come in here and demand they do anything different. You let people be. But for the wrong reasons, the men in this, in their lives were the enabler, right? Maybe for whatever selfish reason or hit it and quit it scheme or whatever. And to be honest with you, that makes the situation worse. So someone who already volatile, whoever's already guarded, whoever's already think things should be done their way, and then they do deal with some guys, and these guys had their selfish motives. I'm not trying to make anybody a villain here, but we all selfish in one way or the other. So they did that, and that made it worse. So at least I can notice that and realize that when you come across a woman like this, fellas, I don't think you should play. I think you should just exit stage left. I probably said this before, even though this topic was handed to me. But people don't really be built like they say they are, and men too. I said people, so I wasn't targeting women. You may think you want one situation and then, you actually get somebody to comply. Now you in that situation and somebody going to go outside the grain, go against the grain, should I say. And they're going to catch more feelings or want more out of the situation. And that's also going left. I'm king left. We're going to change it from voice of reason to king left. But anyway, I don't have an age, sir. You just got to say salute to the ones who do have that awakening, because that's what it is, an awakening to say, all right. The things that I want done my way ain't working. And this washed up part, used to be back in the day a very later stage of women's lives. Now washed up is a lot sooner. And that's another dangerous denial because there's 30-year-olds that's washed up. I ain't saying nobody's name, but and you can't tell nobody nothing out here. So I'm sure those 30-year-olds that's washed up already don't think they are washed up. And women are curious. Oh, voice of reason. What does washed up mean? Give an example of washed up. I may lose some viewers here. Washed up is certain amount of run through by a certain age. The whole neighborhood, the whole block. This might be called. You might be calling them a hoe, really. A lot of mileage, a lot of baby daddies, a lot of party life, drugs and alcohol. The volume. It's not so much what I just said. Respect. It's not so much what I just said. It's the volume. That's what describes washed up. So don't feel, women, if you're out there, you work hard and on the weekends you turn up, drugs and alcohol, whatever, etc., just alcohol. You're just, you might be in your whole phase. You might be just dating. So it's numbers. It's an abundance. No, not abundance. I'm sorry. It threw me off because I was thinking something totally different right now. But anyway, it's how you do it. Moderation is the word, right? Like how we do it, food and diet and health. So That's the same thing here. So washer would mean an abundance of these things. Mileage, you know what mileage is. I'm not talking about your car. The baby daddies, the drugs and alcohol party life, turn up life. These are contributing factors to you being washed. All right. And like I said, nowadays, there ain't no age limit on that as well. You can be washed early, and that would be very sad. So my God, thanks for that one. We moving on. If you really require love and affection, you may need a pet. That's both men and women. Check this out. Not just in a moment. Like if you really keep it real with yourself, you could talk to yourself, just don't answer. You can look in that mirror. You can analyze how your life looks. You could analyze your day to day. Your grind time, your free time. And you could say, this shit is miserable. So, people are doing a lot of desperate heaves to fill that void when they have the free time and it's not being spent the way they would rather it be spent. You know, I'm gonna go off the topic here real quick, to expose but not direct. I feel like what I see on social media, a bunch of females hanging. Now that can happen once in a blue, ever so often. You really have homegirls. Y'all work hard, y'all got family or whatever, y'all get up and y'all have a good time and you may post that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the females that it looked like every weekend or every day off, they out turning up with girls, they homegirls, right? And you might even can challenge me on that and say so. I feel that they want to be involved in something else. And because they can't, they're doing that. And of course, if they're in their 20s, that sounds about right. You know, the youngins, 20, 30s, they would, every opportunity that's free, turn up. But I'm seeing this in older too. Now, if you retired, if you done did your bid and you in retirement, you know, and you got your money coming in from what you already put in, then you do what you want. But I'm talking about near my age and older, seeing that often is kind of crazy for me. I feel like there's something else that you want to do, but that's all you could do. But that's just me speculating. Anyway, yeah, if you don't really have someone, and it doesn't always have to be a partner. If you don't have someone you can really talk to, rely on, and get love and affect, well, minus the affection, because if you're not using somebody, if it's not somebody that you're intimate with, it'll just be love, because love is all kind of aspects. All love is not like intimate. You know what I'm saying? So regardless though, let's not really peel this apart too much. Bottom line is the love and affection that you require that you can't get from a person, it's not happening for you. Things are not working out. Dating sucks. You're not successful. You tried the apps. You tried in person. You tried at work. You tried at lounges. I'm being a little animated here, but let's be real. It's just not clicking, right? But you need that. Like you see the misery or the lack of energy, enthusiasm, your mood level is low. Like you notice these things about you. So you may need a pet because, especially I would say a dog specifically, because something about a dog, you treat them right, they will be loyal. Some have anxiety, separation issues. So they will be on you. You take care of them, they'll be on you. That's a reliable source of affection. I see women more with this, but fellas, Get you a female dog, I guess. I don't know. I don't mean to laugh and make a joke of it, but it's true. If you really require that, you know. And there's guys, single guys that got dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's dope when you could combine all of that though. Like if you got a family, you got a partner and a pet, that's a lot of love if it works out the right way. And it's like, that's huge. That's good energy. You know what I mean? But if you alone, single or whatever, this may be the solution. I may have gave you the cheat code. Let's get you a pet, man. Like I said, all love ain't intimate. So if you notice that about you, your energy level is low. You really don't, you know, you're not really looking forward to anything. You don't have, you know that feeling? You know it? I don't got to keep describing it. You know when you feeling down. So that might be the solution right there, baby. I could have had a dog. It's another story for another day. I had a dog twice in life. I could see the importance of that. I could see the value that held. I do not take for granted those moments. All right, fellas, don't try to be too cool, if at all, with any of your females, male acquaintances. Stay with me, because I didn't type it right, but I knew. Fellas, don't try to be cool, if at all, with any of your female, male acquaintances, co-workers, etc. And I don't recommend dudes being too cool with women who have partners in general. This is a recipe for disaster. The exception on the last part is if you knew her before that. If there's real connection there, that's way before that it didn't go there and it's not going to go there. And that's tricky. I'm giving that a small percentage of entertainment, like meaning like support for you to keep. Like you don't, you know, I'm not saying cut off, no interaction, be like a robot. I'm just saying like, can I use live examples? Listen, I've had tons of female besties or whatever you want to call it. Real cool, just cool. I don't really want to be buddy with a man. And it might sound like there's something here to fish and dig why. The less of that, the more. I'm not going to say none because I shout, keep names private. I mean, keep names secure here. Don't put them on blast. But I have one. Like off the top of the head, there's one homegirl I love to death like a sister and her partner, good money. I'm not saying never. I'm saying that's like my limit though. So please, fellas, copy paste. Ladies, if we're cool, look at me right now. If we are cool and you have a man, no disrespect, nothing malicious, I don't want to be cool with him. Don't introduce me. Don't click us together. Unless there's a real money scheme, you know. I do the music, I do this podcast. If your man could get, know what I mean, we could do something like that, that's different. But just to be cool for what? Vice versa, ladies, copy and paste. Why you want to be cool with your homie's partner? I mean, that is more, we playing in people's face. Like that probably could be more. Like that happens more, that could be more. And I guess that's excused. But I don't want that. And any female that I know that I'm cool with, I don't want to be cool with your man. 1. 2. When you get a man, let's say I was cool with you before that, and you get a man, I don't need, I can meet him. You can ask me my vibe on that. That's about it. But I don't want to be his mans in them. I'm not going to happy hour with your man. Nah, I'm good. I'm Gucci. It's all right. It's all right. It don't, nah. I just don't see how this benefits. Like I said, if there's a business plan in effect, cool. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on that. And I hope you fellas listen. It means not trying to be an ass about it, but it's like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I just think that's weird. It can be cordial. It can have interact. I'm not saying no interactions at all. I'm just saying it ain't no need. I ain't gonna have his number. We're not doing Sunday football. None of that shit, man. Nah, I'm cool. All right. So next, ladies criticize men for being with less attractive women who may have a great shape. For example, not all. If you've dated, let's say you have the receipts, and then you go to approach another woman, and she see who you've been with, she's low-key judging that. She may not tell you that, but she's low-key looking at your type and taste, right? But let's go beyond that. If they see you with a gorilla or a lizard, but we don't even got to get that direct. Let's be real. We're in conversation, in general convo. We are criticized. Let's stop playing here. We are criticized for it being all about sex for us. It's all physical. It's all visual. So we'll chase after the big booty and big titties, even if they're not pretty, even if they mean no harm. Mean no good, whether they strippers, bottle girl, whatever. However that could be criticized, it does, and it happens. It happens. So why criticize that? But then you have the women who are attractive, right? Who don't have that great shape per se. And not all need surgery to get that shape. And I'm talking big, small, medium. I'm not just targeting one size here. You know what I mean? Fellas, you know. Don't you always see the pretty ones that, damn, and it, of course, it depends on where the guy is at with his shape and physique. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to be like ready for the magazine on the cover of Men's Health. But if he goes to the gym, he's active, mildly, intermediate, he can voice his opinion on this. And to be honest, everybody voices their opinion, whether they're in the game or not. So anyway, you see them, right? And you're like, damn, if all they have to do is tighten up this or do that. Like, it don't have to be surgery. It could be the organic way. It's just little things that just tighten up. I know life is lifing. And if they got kids and they work and they got a lot going on, they're like, where do I fit this in? But at the end of the day, it's a plus for you in your life too, because it's not just for said guy. Get in that habit of being in great shape or decent shape lengthens your life. It's a plus for you. A lot of people benefit from that. It's not a selfish benefit. Us wanting, when we see attractive women who may be out of shape, a little overweight, you know what I mean? Like, yes, in that moment it's selfish. In that moment it sounds like we're judging. But overall, who wins? Because I could say that and you won't be with me next year. But if you grab that, you're going to live a longer time. Just saying. So that doesn't defend and take away from the less attractive women, and us really do show signs of being just horny, just wanting sex, just being a, horn dog in general. You know what I'm saying? Listen, you like what you like, right? So you do what you do. But the criticism on it is crazy for me, period. But it's a free country, so you're going to continue to hear the criticism. But my thing is, at least if you're going to be a criticizer, you better have your shit somewhat tight, is all I'm saying. Because I do feel like a lot of people who have no business criticizing be running their mouth the most. I feel like I'm in the middle here. Like, I'm not out of shape. I'm still striving to be better. I don't feel like I criticize like that. But I've been guilty because when I was less in shape, I feel like I did criticize though. And I may still do. But I know that I'm humble pie to take the criticism back, one. Two, acknowledge the fact that I've done it. Some people don't even acknowledge that. So just look in the mirror sometimes, you hear me? Free country, speak how you want. But let's get it together if we all could do something to be better. And like I said, it's not always surgery. I didn't promote that here. If you want the surgery, do what you do. But sometimes you don't need it. You could get it organically. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. To the next time, you know my 3 P's. Stay positive, stay progressive, and stay pushing. Peace.